did you hear the story about the girl who said she caught her stepmama cheating on her daddy and she had to tell him? Child, she said when she was younger in high school, she was living in a house with her stepmom, her dad, which was her biological father, and a whole bunch of other siblings that belonged to the stepmama. So, they had like a blended family. But all of them loved her dad because he was a provider, he was the homie, and he was really like good to them. So all of them called him daddy and they loved him, forget everything else. Well, the daddy was the type that worked offshore, so he would only be in there 1 week on, 1 week off, but he was always gone. And one particular day, while he was gone, they tried to go into the bedroom where the stepmama was to get some lotion before school. They wanted to get her smell goods. And this time, instead of letting them in to go use her stuff, she stopped them, poked their head out and was like, y'all can't come in today. They was like, what? But they kind of shrugged it off because you know what? They got to go to school anyway. So they just finished getting dressed, put on their book bags, and went to start walking to school. But on the way to school, they all confused, like, why she acting funny like that? And as they round the corner, they look back at the house and they see a car parked outside back of their house that they normally wouldn't have been able to see from that angle. And they was noticing that it was a little red car. So all day they was like, what? Whose car is that? What is going on? What was happening at the house? They go to school. They say they seen each other in the hallways, and all day they looking at each other like, y'all figured out who car that was? Before it was the end of the day, one of the siblings was like, I know who it is. That car is my daddy baby mama car. And they was like, what? Now remember, her siblings aren't her daddy's children. Her siblings are the stepmama's kids. So they're saying that the car belonged to their daddy's girlfriend. And she's like, why would their daddy's girlfriend be at our stepmama house? And they was like, wait a minute. It wasn't the daddy's girlfriend. It was the daddy. They stepmama was sneaking her ex, their daddy, into the house so she could lay up with him in the bedroom. They was like, oh, hell no. She cheating on our daddy. Even her kids were saying this because they loved him so much. Then they decided, we gonna tell him. And as soon as he got back from, being offshore, they said, Daddy, we got something to tell you. Your girl been cheating on you. She had so-and-so in here. She had so-and-so in here. And he was like, what? Oh, hell no. He went, cussed her out, kicked her out. Get out. Go about your business. And they was like, yeah. They was happy and excited, even though that was their mama. And she said that they was all even saying, well, if push come to shove and we have to choose, we gonna stay with him because he take good care of us. We ain't going with her. I don't care. That's my daddy forever. And she was like, okay. So eventually, like maybe a week or so later, the daddy comes to them and he's like, all right, she says she want to talk to you, and y'all kids tell her how y'all feel. And she said they sat us all down, and one by one we had to say how we felt about seeing her cheating with another man. And all her kids was like, oh, that's so terrible that you did that. It's so hurtful. And she was just apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And then she said when it got to her to say how she feels, she looked at her and she said, I don't like you. I hope you never come back. I don't want you around my daddy. And all the other kids was like, how could you say that? She said she's sorry. And she was like, I don't care. She cheating on my daddy, and that's dumb, and I don't want her around. And so everybody had their say. They ended up going to bed. Long story short, the daddy ended up forgiving her and taking her back. Well, a few months after he forgave her, she ended up cheating again, and he killed himself.